Alrighty, how's everybody? Good? Tired? 4:30 is always a quiet time. No one has any injuries or anything to share this week? All right. Well, starting last week, we were looking at the pitta subdoshas, which are the places in your body where the elements of pitta, fire and water, are most active. So last week, we started at the top of the body and looked at the brain and the heart, which we call sadhaka pitta. Sadhaka pitta was responsible for helping us be motivated to achieve goals and things like that. This week, we're moving down a little bit to our eyes and what we call alochika pitta. So alochika comes from a Sanskrit word lokana that means that which sees, or your eyes. So alochika pitta governs the eyes, and everything that has to do with your eyes involves alochika pitta. So when you have dry eyes or itchy eyes, or when your eyes are red, all of that is showing some kind of imbalance in this type of fire. But there's a little bit more to alochika pitta that we're going to talk about once we get started with our practice. We're going to start on our backs today, and you can just lie down and make yourself as comfortable as possible. So use your props here in whatever way helps you to settle in and feel comfortable. And then just take a moment to begin connecting to your breath and letting your awareness start to shift from everything else that's been happening today to this moment. So everything else that's been going on is in the past, and there's nothing you can do about it right now anyway. So just setting all of that aside and becoming fully present in this moment. And as you're settling into your breath and relaxing your body, if your eyes are still open, then let your eyelids soften. You can close your eyes all the way, or just let your eyelids close about halfway and relax your gaze. So just let your eyes relax. Almost every thing that involves pitta involves digestion and transformation. Pitta is primarily made up of the fire element, and fire is the element that transforms things. So when our eyes are involved, we're taking in visual stimuli throughout the day and processing that stimuli via this alochika pitta, or the fire in the eyes. And we have a lot of stimulation throughout the day. Not just the environment that's around us, but we add to that visual stimulation with cell phones and television and computer screens, video games. And our eyes are always working and processing. And actually, the more that the eyes have to do this job of working and processing, the less sensitive they become. And in terms of sensitivity, what we're talking about here is the more subtle aspect of your eyes being able to see the truth, reality, what's actually happening in the present moment. We lose our sensitivity to truth and reality. Just take your next couple of breaths here and really focus on letting the muscles around your eyes relax when you exhale. You want to start to almost have the sense that your eyeballs are sinking back into your skull just a little bit with each breath out. The muscles at the corners of your eyes, the muscles controlling your eyelids, start to soften and relax. And then just keep your eyelids closed or halfway closed, how you have them now. And the next few movements are going to be movements just of your eyeballs. So with your eyelids closed or halfway closed, soft and relaxed. Imagine that you're rolling your gaze up towards your forehead. And just behind your closed eyelids, let your eyeballs roll up towards your forehead. And then when you exhale, let your eyeballs roll down towards your chin. And a few more times when you inhale, let the eyeballs roll up. And when you exhale, eyes roll down. Inhale, rolling the eyeballs behind your closed eyelids all the way up and back towards your forehead. And when you exhale, all the way down towards your chin. Do 2 more like that. And when you finish 2 more breaths, rolling your eyeballs up and down, keep your eyes closed and just soft and relaxed. Again, have the sensation that your eyeballs are just sinking back a little further into your skull. And then still behind closed or halfway closed eyelids, the next time that you inhale, let your eyeballs roll all the way over towards the right side of the room. And when you exhale, eyeballs are going to roll all the way over to the left side of the room. When you inhale behind your closed eyelids, look towards the right. And when you exhale behind your closed eyelids, look towards the left. Inhale to the right. And exhale to the left. And inhale to the right. And exhale to the left. One more time, inhale, look all the way over to the right, behind your closed eyelids. And when you exhale, look all the way over to the left. And then just relax. Let your eyeballs come back to center, again, softening the muscles that control your eyelids, the corners of your eyes, your eyeballs themselves, sinking a little bit deeper into your skull. Still behind closed eyelids, imagine that you're just looking straight up at the ceiling, and on the ceiling is the face of a clock. Use your eyeballs to trace the face of the clock from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And then trace from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And then let your eyeballs relax. And start to bring your hands together just above your heart and rub your palms together. You can start slowly, rub a little bit faster, start to generate some heat between your palms. Once your palms are warm, rest your warm palms over your eyes, just cupping your eyes with your warm hands. Let your hands soften and relax, almost like they're melting over your eyes. And then just allow your hands to slowly slide down your face. As your hands slide away from your eyes, very, very slowly, blink your eyes open a couple of times, just adjusting to the light of the room. And then on your next breath in, take a big long stretch yourself, arms overhead, legs to the end of the mat like you just woke up in the morning. And then on a breath out, bring both knees to your chest. You can take your hands down to hold your shins or thighs. And if it feels good, lift your forehead to touch towards your knees. And then when you inhale, stretch out long arms overhead, feet to the end of the mat. Big stretch like you just woke up. And when you exhale, knees to chest, hands float down to hold shins or thighs. Head can stay down or lift the forehead to the knees. We're going to do one more just like that. When you inhale, big stretch, arms overhead, feet to the end of your mat. And as you exhale, knees to the chest, hands float down, forehead can lift or not. Good, then hugging both knees in still. If you're lifted your forehead towards your knees, go ahead and rest your head and the backs of your shoulders to the floor. Rock a little bit from side to side and then slowly roll yourself all the way over to your left side. And as you roll over to your left side, stack your knees, your hips, and your shoulders. You can bring a block or blanket underneath of your head for a little lift and support. Then as you inhale, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, roll your chest open into a twist. And as you open into the twist, let your head turn towards the right, almost as if you're trying to look at your right fingertip. And once your head rotates to the right as far as it will go, let your eyeballs continue to roll towards the right a little bit further. And breathe here. And take one more breath, in and out. And then as you inhale, start to raise your right hand back up towards the ceiling. Take your gaze to look at your right thumb. And as you exhale, roll all the way over to your left side. Then on your breath in, come onto your back. You can use your feet on the ground to reposition your hips and shoulders on your mat. And then hug both knees to your chest, a little rock from side to side until you eventually roll all the way over to your right side. Once you're on your right side again, stacking hips, stacking shoulders, propping up your head here as you need to. On your inhale, reach your left hand straight up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, roll your chest open, let your left hand reach over to the left side of the room, rotate your head to the left as far as it will go. And then let your eyes continue looking further to the left and breathe here. And take one more breath in and out. And then as you inhale again, start rolling towards the right, reach that left hand up to the ceiling. Take your gaze with your thumb. And then as you exhale, roll all the way over to your right side. Just stay here on your right side, take a breath in and out, and then let your left hand come to the floor in front of your chest. And as you breathe in, slowly press yourself up to seated. And as you come up to seated, then you can move any props out of your way. We're going to come all the way on around to hands and knees for cow and cat. You can use blankets underneath of your knees, have blocks towards the front of your mat for lunges if you like to have those, if we get into any lunges today. And then as you're starting in your tabletop pose with your knees underneath of your hip joints and your thumbs or your wrists underneath of your shoulder joints, let your gaze be straight down in between your hands. And then starting the movement with your tailbone, as you inhale and lift your tailbone, your belly will sink towards the floor. As you start to lift your chest, trace a straight line across the floor all the way up the front wall and look up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, trace that same straight line down the front wall, across the floor. As you round your spine and tuck in, gaze all the way up at your navel. On your breath in, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, trace that straight line across the floor, up the wall, and all the way up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine, trace that straight line with your gaze all the way back to your navel. Do 3 more just like that. Keeping your eyes open now and just staying focused on that one straight line from your belly button, across the floor, up the front wall into the ceiling, and from the ceiling down the front wall, across the floor, and back to your belly button. When you've done 3 more full rounds of the cow and the cat, at the end of that 3rd round, bring your big toes together, take your knees a little bit wider. And then as you exhale, press back into child's pose. And as you come back into child's pose, now let your eyelids soften or close again. With your eyelids soft or closed, let your eyeballs be still. And just relax the muscles that control your eyelids, the muscles at the corners of your eyes. Relax your eyeballs, this time with your face forward. It feels more like your eyeballs are falling into your eyelids. Every muscle around your eyes, soft and relaxed. And take one more breath in and out. And then on an inhale, as you start to make your way back to your hands and knees, slowly blink your eyes open, adjust to the light in the room, bring your knees back in underneath of your hip joints. You can walk your hands forward or keep them underneath of your shoulders, tuck your toes. And then as you press back to downward facing dog, just let your gaze drop back between your shins or your feet. So think about aligning your head right in between your upper arms. Relax the back of your neck and then just see where your gaze naturally falls. Once your gaze falls into its natural spot, try to keep your eyeballs still. Keep your eyes open as much as you can. And just let your gaze be in that one spot for 3 more breaths. In through your nose and out through your nose. And breathing in and out. And take one more breath in and breathe out. And then as you inhale, trace a line from between your feet all the way up between your hands. And then as you exhale, walk your feet forward to where you're looking. As your feet come forward, you can slide your hands onto high blocks or your shins or thighs. When you inhale and lengthen your spine, trace that line across the floor and up the front wall. And then as you exhale, down the front wall, across the floor and back in between your feet. Breathe in, trace a line with your gaze across the floor and up the front wall. Lengthen your spine here, and then as you exhale, Trace that line down the front wall, across the floor and back in between your feet. Do one more just like that, lifting halfway, tracing that straight line with your gaze. And then folding forward, taking your gaze back in between your feet. As you hold here in Uttanasana or your forward fold, let your gaze come to relax wherever it's natural. So if it feels like you're lifting or extending the back of your neck to look in between your feet, try to drop your head, relax the back of your neck, and now your gaze might be more towards the back wall in between your shins. So again, just like in down dog, notice where your gaze naturally falls. And then take a couple of breaths, just looking there, keeping your eyes still. One more breath in and out. And then on your next breath in, you're going to come all the way to stand. Trace that straight line across the floor, up the front wall, all the way up to the ceiling. Look up in between your hands, join your palms together. And then as you bring your hands in front of your heart on an exhale, follow your thumbs with your gaze. As you inhale, keep your palms together, gaze at your thumbs, look up as you lift your hands. And then still following the thumbs as you exhale, fold all the way forward, hands to your shins or thighs. When you breathe in, lengthen your spine. Now trace that straight line across the floor and up the wall. As you exhale, take your hands to the floor or blocks and step your right foot to the back of your mat in a lunge. But on your breath in, look forward towards the front wall, lengthen your spine. Then as you exhale, let your right knee come down to touch the floor. On your breath in, you're going to lift your torso, bring your hands together in front of your heart, take your gaze to your thumbs as you breathe out. Then following your thumbs with your gaze, when you inhale, raise the arms overhead, Anjaneyasana. And as you exhale, keep following the thumbs with your gaze. Hands come all the way back down to blocks or the floor. Tuck your back toes under. When you inhale, lift up your knee and then take your gaze to the front wall. And as you exhale, lower your blocks or move them off to the side, step back to downward facing dog and let your gaze settle again in between your feet or your shins towards the back of the room. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale two. Keeping the eyes still, the gaze in one spot, breathe in. And out for three. Then when you inhale, trace a line from between your feet all the way up to between your hands. And as you exhale, step, hop, or walk your feet all the way up to where you're looking. As you breathe in, you're tracing that straight line across the floor, up the front wall, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. And then as you come all the way to stand, reach your arms out and up overhead, trace that line all the way up to the ceiling, looking in between your hands, join your palms. Follow your thumbs as you exhale, hands to heart. The gaze is down towards the tips of your thumbs. On your breath in, keep your palms together, follow your thumbs, reach up and look up. And then exhale, follow your thumbs, fold all the way over your legs. Hands to shins or thighs. When you inhale, trace that straight line from between your feet up to the front wall. And as you exhale, take your hands to your blocks or the floor, step your left foot to the back of your mat. With your back knee lifted, inhale, look forward at the front wall. Then as you exhale, lower your left knee to your mat. On your breath in, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And as you exhale, take your gaze down towards your thumbs. Follow your thumbs with your gaze. When you inhale, raise your arms overhead, Anjaneyasana. And then follow the thumbs as you exhale, hands come all the way down to the floor or your block. Tuck the left toes under. When you breathe in and lift your knee, look forward to the front of the room. Then lower or move your blocks as you exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Let your gaze fall between your feet or your shins. Breathe in and breathe out. Resist that urge to let your eyeballs wander around. Take a breath in and out for 2. And one more breath in and out for 3. And tracing a straight line from between your feet to between your hands when you inhale. Then as you exhale, step, hop, or walk your feet to where you're looking. As you breathe in, your spine lengthens, your gaze is to the front of the room. Then as you exhale, folding into Uttanasana, taking your gaze between your feet or your shins. As you inhale and rise to stand, trace a straight line across the floor, up the wall, all the way up to the ceiling, look between your hands and then join your palms, look at your thumbs. As you exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart, drop your gaze to look at the tips of your thumbs. Pause there, take a breath in and out. And then on your next breath in, lift your gaze to look straight out in front of you towards the wall at the front of the room. Shift a little more weight into your right foot, bend your left knee. Keep your gaze straight ahead, turn your left knee towards the left side of the room, and then for Vrikshasana, resting your heel at your ankle or raising your left foot up along the inseam of your right leg. You'll keep your gaze straight out in front of you, hands together in front of your heart, lifting your chest. That's option number 1. Option number 2, drop your gaze towards your thumbs, and then on an inhale, follow your thumbs as you raise your arms all the way up to the ceiling. The gaze is straight up towards the tips of your thumbs. Exhale here for 2. Breathe in and out for 3. Inhale. And exhale for 4. Take one more breath in. If you're looking at your thumbs, on your exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart, your gaze straight ahead. On your breath in, point your left knee forward, and then as you exhale, take a step back for warrior 1. Position your feet here where you like them so your hips and shoulders are square forward, your right knee stacked over your right ankle. Your hands are in front of your heart in a prayer. Your gaze is straight ahead. On your breath in, you're going to reach your hands straight out in front of you towards the front wall. So you're gazing at your thumbs. You can relax your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your hands and your gaze here. Or if your shoulders and your low back feel okay today, you're going to inhale, press your palms together, follow your thumbs, start to raise your fingertips to the ceiling and tilt your gaze up as you lift your hands. And exhale for 2. Breathe in and out for 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Take one more breath in, and then whether you're looking up or your hands are straight out in front of you, as you exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart, and then let your gaze be straight ahead. So you're just kind of looking right over the tops of your middle fingers. On your breath in, straighten your right leg. And then as you exhale, trace that straight line down the front wall as you fold forward, across the floor, and straight back to your right big toe. Once you're folded forward, your hands might drop to the floor or blocks on either side of your right foot. Your gaze is at the very tip of your right big toe. When you breathe in, pull your right hip back and up. And exhale for 1. Breathe in. And out for 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Breathing in. And out for 4. Take one more breath in. And out for 5. Then as you inhale, trace a line to the front wall, bring your hands to your waist and lengthen your spine. Pause there, take your breath out. And then continue to trace that straight line as you lift your torso upright. Your gaze is straight out in front of you. Exhale, push off with your left foot, step forward to Tadasana. As you come into Tadasana, adjust your feet where you like them for chair pose Utkatasana, so you can bring them a little closer together if that helps support your knees. And then bring your hands again in front of your heart, gaze straight ahead, just like you're looking right over the tips of your middle fingers. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knees, sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Just like in Warrior One, on your breath in, reach straight out in front of you. Keep your gaze at your thumbs. Check in, see how neck, shoulders, low back feel. Hold here. Or on the next breath in, start to raise your arms up overhead and let your gaze follow your thumbs. So you might be at more of an angle where you're reaching to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Depending on how your low back feels today, you might be lifting your torso almost all the way upright. Fingertips straight up to the ceiling, gaze straight up between your hands. And exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Then no matter where your arms are, when you inhale, push into your feet. Straighten your legs. As you straighten up, reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Look straight up. And then exhale, follow your thumbs, hands to your heart. Looking straight out in front of you. Now shift a little more weight to your left foot. Bend your right knee. Turn your right knee towards the right side of the room. And then come into Vrikshasana with the right foot against the left leg at any level. Once you find balance here, you can keep the hands in front of the heart. Just let the gaze be straight ahead, looking just over the tips of your middle fingers. Or drop your gaze towards your thumbs. And then as you press your palms together and raise your arms up overhead, follow your thumbs with your gaze. And exhale for 2. Breathe in. And out for 3. Inhale. And exhale 4. Take one more breath in. And if your hands are lifted, as you exhale, follow your thumbs, hands in front of your heart, gaze is straight ahead. On your breath in, point your right knee forward. Then as you exhale, take a step back for Warrior One. Adjust your feet where you like them so you'll be comfortable and squared forward. Keeping your hands in front of your heart, your gaze straight ahead. On your next breath in, reach straight out in front of you. The gaze is still forward towards your thumbs. See how shoulders, neck, low back feel. And then as you inhale, starting to raise your arms higher and follow your thumbs with your gaze. Again, you might be reaching more at an angle towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, or maybe straight up towards the ceiling. And exhale for 2. Breathe in. And out for 3. Inhale. And exhale 4. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, those hands are going to come back in front of the heart. The gaze looks straight ahead, just brushing your gaze across the tips of your middle fingers. Straighten your front leg. Then as you exhale, trace that straight line down the front wall. Start to hinge forward over your straight left leg. Line tracing across the floor and all the way back to your left big toe. Then hands can come down to hold your blocks or touch the floor. As you breathe in, pull your left hip back and up. Keep your gaze right at the tip of your left big toe. And exhale for 1. Breathe in. And out for 2. Inhale. And exhale for 3. Breathe in. And out for 4. And take one more breath in. And out for 5. And as you inhale and lift halfway, trace your gaze towards the front wall, hands to your waist. Just pause there, breathe out. Then on your breath in, come all the way up to stand, gazes straight ahead. As you exhale, push off with that right foot and step forward. Again, step where you like for Utkatasana or the chair pose. Start with your hands together in front of your heart, gazing over your fingertips, breathe in. As you exhale, bend your knees, sit back. You can stay just like this, or inhale, start to reach your arms straight out in front of you. Look at your thumbs. Stay here with the arms reaching out in front, or start to angle the arms up and take the gaze with the thumbs. And exhale, 1. Breathe in. And out for 2. And take one more breath in. And out for 3. And then as you inhale and start to straighten your legs, raise your arms all the way up to the sky, look up. Exhale, follow your thumbs as you bring your hands together in front of your heart. Pause here, take a breath in and out. And then half a sun salutation to get to the floor. So when you inhale, reach your arms out and up, take your gaze straight up. Follow your thumbs now as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Hands on shins or thighs, trace that line across the floor and halfway up the wall. Then as you exhale, trace the line down the wall, across the floor, bend your knees, plant your hands, and walk your feet back to plank pose. And as you come back to plank pose, pressing the floor with your hands and letting your gaze be right in between your hands, up near the tips of your middle fingers. So you're looking in between the hands, but slightly forward. The back of your neck is long. Take one more breath in. And then when you exhale, you're going to come all the way down to the ground. You can bend your knees or lower through chaturanga. And as you lower down, slide your elbows forward underneath of your shoulders for a sphinx pose. And then with your breath in, pull a little bit with your hands and your elbows to extend through your upper back a little bit more. And as you lift your chest and draw your shoulder blades together, make the back of your neck long. So instead of overextending the back of the neck to tilt your head up and look up, keep your head looking forward. And then just with your eyeballs, look up a little bit higher, maybe up to the place where the ceiling and the wall meet. And breathe out for 1. Inhale. And exhale 2. Breathe in. And out for 3. Inhale. And exhale 4. And take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, stack up your hands, turn your elbows out to the sides, lower all the way down. And as you lower down, now close your eyes. And again, relax the muscles that control your eyelids, relax the corners of your eyes, relax your eyeballs. Again, with your face forward, it kind of feels like your eyeballs are falling forward behind your eyelids. And take a couple of breaths here. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, sweep your arms back along your sides, let your forehead come down to rest on the floor. Turn your palms to this, towards your mat, towards your sticky mat. And then as you inhale, lift your shoulders, your chest, your head, your legs. Let the back of your neck be long again. If your eyes are still closed, go ahead and open them. So in locust pose, your face is mostly towards the floor. Let your eyeballs look straight down from your face. Take a breath in. Imagine that you're getting a little bit longer from the tips of your toes all the way out through the crown of your head And then with just your eyeballs, continue looking up. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down, bring your hands underneath of your shoulders and press yourself up and back to child's pose. And as you press back to child's pose, again, close your eyes, soften and relax all of the muscles around your eyes. And just another breath or two here. When you're ready, slowly starting to lift your torso off of your thighs. And as you swing your legs out from underneath of you, you're going to come around to seated in Dandasana, the stack pose, with both legs stretched out in front of you. You want to bring your legs as close together as you can get them. And then reach through your heels, spread your toes, draw your toes back towards your face. Take your hands to the floor on either side of your pelvis, roll your shoulders back, and keep your gaze right at your big toes. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to start to walk your hands forward, hinge forward. Reach down to hold your shins, your ankles, or your big toes. And then no matter where you are here with your torso, your gaze is at the tips of your big toes. When you inhale, pull your heart to where you're looking. Exhale, deepen the hip creases for 1. Inhale, looking at the toes, lengthen the heart towards your feet. And exhale, 2. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, 3. Inhale. And exhale, 4. One more breath in, still looking at the tips of the toes, and exhale for 5. Release what you're holding, slide your hands behind your knees. Then as you inhale and lift your torso, bring both of your knees up towards your chest. And as you exhale, bring your feet together and your knees open wide. Holding onto your ankles, arches or toes, tuck your chin slightly. Again, look at your big toes. As you breathe in, squeeze your heels together, squeeze the pinky toe side of your feet towards each other. And then exhale to hinge forward, keeping the gaze at the big toes. Breathe in, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, deepen the hip creases, press the heels and the pinky toe sides of the feet together, gaze at the toes 2. Breathe in. And out for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Breathing in. And out for 5. And then take your hands to your outer knees. And as you inhale and lift your torso, bring your knees up to your chest. If you're sitting on a blanket, you're going to want to slide off of that blanket. You can move it back towards the back of your mat or just off to the side if you don't need it during Shavasana. So you'll be seated on your bottom with your knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. You're going to slide your hands behind your thighs. Rock back just behind your sitting bones. And for Navasana, raise your shins parallel to your mat. Then take your gaze to your big toes. You can keep holding on behind your thighs, or you can release your hands and reach towards your feet. Breathe in, lift your chest, look forward, and exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Breathe in. And out for 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Let's take one more breath in. And as you exhale on 5, lower your feet to the floor, sit up tall, reach forward, grab yourself a block, slide it to the back of your mat, and then as you exhale, roll all the way down onto your back. As you come down onto your back, you're gonna have that block handy right next to you. Once you're down, first thing that you're gonna do is keep your left foot on the floor, bring your right knee to your chest. Hold your right shin with your right hand. Place your left hand on the middle, kind of fleshy part of your left thigh. And then use your right hand to really try and pull your knee closer to your chest. And as much as you're pulling your right knee in, try to press your left leg away. Let your left foot be glued down to your sticky mat so it doesn't slide, but keep pressing, pulling the right knee in, pushing the left leg away. Take one more breath in and out. And then switch sides, letting your right foot come to the floor, hand to your thigh, left knee to your chest, hand to your shin. And then very actively push the right leg away, but let your foot stay stuck on your mat and pull the left knee in. And then release the left foot down next to your right. Grab your block in your hand, press both feet down on an inhale, lift your hips. Slide the block underneath and bring the hips down to rest on your block. Once you have that block placed in a comfortable spot, hug both knees to your chest. And then as you raise your heels up towards the ceiling, take your gaze one more time towards your big toes. As you rest here in waterfall pose, try to keep your eyes open, your gaze at your big toes. Again, try to resist that urge to let your eyeballs wander around and see what else is going on. Take one more breath in and out. And then start to bring your knees towards your chest. Return your feet to your mat. Then pressing into your feet, lift your hips, slide your block out from underneath of you as you come all the way down onto your back. Hug both knees to your chest. As you hug your knees in, a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then we'll finish just like we started with a twist, rolling all the way over to your left side. As you roll over to the left and stack your shoulders and hips, prop your head as you need to here. And then on your breath in, as you reach your right hand to the sky, rotate your gaze, look up at your right thumb. And then as you open your chest, let your gaze follow your thumb all the way over to the right side of the room. And take one more breath in and out. And as you inhale again, roll towards your left side. And exhale, just a pause there. And as you breathe in, roll onto your back, use your feet to shift into the center of your mat, hug both knees to your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, eventually working up the momentum to roll to your right side. Stack your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your head. And as you inhale and raise your left hand to the sky, rotate your gaze to look at your thumb. And then as you're rolling open, follow your thumb with your gaze. And take one more breath in and out. And then as you inhale, rolling to your right, let your gaze follow your left thumb. Exhale, come to rest on your right side, pausing there. And then with your breath in, roll all the way over onto your back. Use your feet to get back into the center of your mat. Just for another few moments, keep your eyes open. Your gaze will just be straight up at the ceiling above you. When you inhale, stretch out long like you just woke up in the morning. And then on your exhale, let your arms float down to your sides. Your palms can turn up towards the ceiling. Your eyes are still open here just for a moment. And take one more breath in, and then as you exhale, let your eyelids slowly start to close. They can soften and drop down just about halfway, or they can shut all the way. And about your eyes, Dr. Lod, who is a world-renowned Ayurvedic doctor, says your eyes have the capacity to see the truth. When you look without judgment, without interference from your thoughts and your mind, your eyes become the windows of God, and you can perceive the truth. As you soften and relax the corners of your eyes, the muscles that control your eyelids, soften your eyeballs. Let your mind become still and quiet. Resting here without judgment, without interference from your thoughts or your mind. And just spending these last few minutes of your practice resting in the truth, the reality of this very moment. And keep your eyes closed, but begin to deepen your breath. And as your breath deepens, slowly start to move your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Try to keep your eyes closed as you move around. Slowly bringing your knees towards your chest. And with your eyes still closed, rolling all the way over to your right side. And again, still with your eyes closed, just do your best to press up from the floor, come back to seated. If you don't end up facing the front of the room, that's fine. Just kind of find your way around without looking. Once you're seated with your eyes closed, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And start to rub your palms together first slowly and then more vigorously, again, generating some heat between your palms. And then let your warm palms cup your eyes. Soften and relax the muscles around your eyes. And then as you slowly start to slide your hands away, begin blinking your eyes open, adjusting to the light of the room. Let your hands fall all the way down to your lap. Bowing the wisdom of your head towards the wisdom of your heart. The divine light in me sees and honors that same divine light in each one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. If you have questions, please let me know. I will not be here for the next 2 Thursdays in a row. This Thursday, I'm going to be gone to a yoga festival that I'm really excited about. Brandy's going to be here this Thursday to sub for me. As of right now, I don't have a sub for next Thursday, so just keep an eye on the schedule and see what happens there. Unfortunately, I just absolutely cannot be here because I have a minor medical procedure that I have to have, and I just can't be here. So keep an eye on that. Thursday next week, just make sure somebody's going to be here to sub, or they'll let you know online if class is going to be canceled. Otherwise, I'll see you around because I'm still here a lot, even if it's not on Thursday.